block like Pepe. Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though, and welcome to Woodward Sports, Woodward Heavyweights, live on woodwardsports.com. And me, Joe, my Spinal Rex.
Whoa!
I'm so used to saying it, man. I'm sorry. We got Nick on the desk.
Let's go.
Microwave Nick.
Let's
Detroit
roll.
Mario.
First time.
Detroit Tigers beat reporter.
As the Detroit Tigers beat
First
reporter.
time, yeah.
Let's go. And what better time to do it than the Tigers absolutely dismantling the Colorado Rockies in Game 1 of the doubleheader. I'm fired up. This is a big show. I know we got a lot of Lions disrespect to get to, but we got to break down some Tigers first, and no better time to do it than after a massive mollywhopping.
I'll tell you what. I think it was you or even chat. We were bullshitting around like, what if they lose one game? Like, it's the Rockies. Like, we're not tripping. It's baseball, but like, this is how you want to see them beat the Rockies. Yeah, beat them to a fucking pulp.
This is a true World Series contender going up against the worst team in baseball. This is exactly what you wanted to see happen after last night. You know, it was a game that, you know, frankly, they could have lost, you know, but they didn't. They find a way.
It was a weird game.
It was such a weird game. Joe getting lit up.
Yeah, he got rocked.
You know, I mean,
he's a rookie, though.
His sliders just weren't sliding. His curveballs weren't curving. And, you know, that's
the altitude, baby.
Exactly. That's his go-to. And the altitude definitely was a factor last night. But they found a way to win. And that's what this team's been doing. But it's almost like they learned from last night, even though they didn't have to lose to learn. And they just put it on the Rockies early in this one, and that's what's been so much fun to watch.
That's how bad the Rockies are.
Yes.
You can have your bad game and still come. I mean, we're also the gritty Tigers. Like, it's very consistently when we're down in games, like we'll come back in the 7th or 9th.
Yep.
Come away with the W. It's kind of dirty. I feel bad for teams because like they look like they got something in the bag, and we're like, nah, here we come. They did against the Angels.
Yep. 9th inning, the special 9th inning. Yeah. Last night, just before, I know we got some other things to get into, but last night, just a little recap on what went well for the Tigers. It was that bullpen. Like, the bullpen was phenomenal. They helped out Jackson Jobe so much last night, and that's what, you know, to me, really makes a good, complete team. It's when your young rookie gets lit up like a goddamn firework in the first 3 innings. They come in and just shut the door completely. No earned runs from your bullpen. I thought Will Vest was straight nails at the end of it.
All-star.
Yeah, all-star Vest.
All-star Vest.
Crazy Eyes Vest.
Shout out to Justin who made the graphic for that, by the way.
Shout out. Phenomenal job by Justin.
Projected Detroit Tigers. I forgot to introduce you at the beginning of the show.
Will Vest is an all-star, by the way.
What'd you say?
Will Vest is an all-star, by the way.
Yeah.
He's got some of the best advanced metrics out of every relief pitcher in baseball right now. They're utterly insane.
I love him. He's a psychopath.
Talking about
a scary guy.
Yeah,
I think he's in the game right. Or no, Goether's in the game right now, right?
Who's in the game right now?
Will Vest should not pitch today. After going multiple innings last night, I just don't think they'll probably try to save him for the Rangers game. I would think, because you're going up against the Rockies here, 9-run lead. Even I would not pitch him.
Not even later
in the second game. I would not. But one guy I want to shout out real quick, Brant Herter. I think he could legitimately be a starter. He was a big part of that pitching chaos last season, going multiple innings.
Yeah.
Brant Herter is the one who came in and just settled down all of the noise of yesterday, all of the Colorado atmosphere, you know, mile high, everything. The game was just in complete disarray. He comes in and just, everybody calm down. I can do this. The lefty, Brant Herter, young lefty Brant Herter, super impressive. I think he's going to end up being a key piece to this team in a Maeda role, almost like you bring him in when you need innings, like Eaton, and he can do it, but put up zeros, you know, compared to a guy like Maeda.
This has nothing to do with the game last night, but remember he had that broken bat flying towards him in the Yankee series, and he had the behind-the-back catch?
Yes.
And that was insane.
They said he's the best athlete on the team, Brant Herter.
Did you see that? He's got to be. I mean, typically guys run out the way. Those bats are flying at you. He stayed still.
Yep.
Literally caught a ball behind his back. He's nuts. How do you feel about Herter, Justin?
I think I agree with Nick. I like him in that Maeda role, coming out of the bullpen to eat innings in these types of games where you just need someone to come in and be effective, whether it's to put the game back into control or to just keep the game at a level pace. Like if he were to go in like today, I think this would be a great time for him to eat some innings and save the Will Vests of the world when he goes out there and pitches 2 stressful innings. So, yeah, I think that he's a critical piece. You got to have the versatility in your bullpen like the Tigers have. You got guys who can eat innings. You got guys who are shutdown setup guys. And then, we got lights-out closers. We've got like two guys who can pretty much close the game out for us, and that's something a lot of teams can't say. So this bullpen's deep, and it's good, man.
It's crazy. Because I remember we had back in the day, like 2013, we had elite starting pitching, but the bullpen was always a question. Now we have like everything. The offense is alive too, which is like nuts. I'm still waiting for that. I mean, I'm not gonna wood. I don't want to say anything like negative, but like, what the fuck? Who expected the offense to do this? To be this?
Yeah, I know we have some guys to dive into later, but you're looking. One of the guys we're not diving into specifically is Trey Sweeney, so we can talk about that guy a little bit right now. Holy hell, Trey Sweeney. Yeah. People were talking about him legitimately being sent down.
We were.
It was a question mark because he was supposed to be known for his defense, and he was making mistakes in the field. But now, this dude can't miss. This guy's just hitting everything. His last 3 games have been incredible from Trey Sweeney, and his OPS is now up to 724. That is above average for a major leaguer. And this guy, the last 3 games, it's guys like that you don't expect, that even the little guy like is getting hot. And I mean, I'm almost at the point where I'm penciling Trey Sweeney in as a shortstop for the next 2 seasons.
Damn.
I mean, unless we're bringing somebody in. I mean, unless Javi takes the spot when Parker comes back. We have so many good players right now where good players are going to have to get sent down.
I know. It is really weird.
What a time to be a Detroit Tiger fan.
It is a great
Let us
time.
know how you guys feel also in the comments. We'll be reading them out all day. Give us all the craziest, hypest Tiger takes. All of the Tiger Kool-Aid coming out today for sure.
Yeah,
and a 10-1 lead right now.
I said this one before, but that meme of Homelander where he like lasers the guy and he's expecting everyone to be like appalled, but some people are clapping. And he's like, ha, ha, ha. That's Chris Illich right now.
Yeah.
by far.
That's so true.
He's like, yeah, I knew this was going to happen.
And Trey Sweeney's just hitting a light 458 in his last 6 games in his 6-game hit streak. Absolute monster at the plate right now. Seeing a beach ball up there, and that's what you love to see. You're getting contributions from everyone in your lineup. Today, you had Riley Green not playing. You would Kerry Carpenter be the only player on the team to go hitless. Obviously, you might get a hit in this last couple innings here, but I mean, that's impressive in your own. You're not even having your best hitter step up in a day where you're playing a doubleheader, and you're just mashing the baseball. So, I mean, this lineup is deep, and like you guys said, we're getting to a point where, we have Vierling coming back and Meadows coming back. Good players are going to get sent down, and that's what means that we have the prospects for sustained success when it comes to sustaining this team over the next couple of years.
How about Gleyber Torres?
One of the most underrated signing.
I think so too.
Of this offseason.
No one's talking about him, but he's been consistent as could be.
I'm sure all those Yankee fans are still saying the same stuff they were when we signed. Oh, good luck with Gleyber. Yeah, I don't think so. That dude's an absolute weapon. Righty, exactly the bat that we needed.
Yep.
Contact hitter. The home run numbers aren't there, but I don't need them to be.
No.
He is looking like the player that he came in when he was a top 10 prospect back in the day, when he made 2 All-Star games out of the gate with the Yankees. He looks like that plus contact player who puts it to all sides of the field and keeps pressure on the opposing team's pitcher, makes them throw good pitches, gets that pitch count up. Gleyber Torres has been extremely special to watch, and I think just a big leader for this team as well.
Think so too.
A proven vet that day in and day out what you're getting. I think it's been great.
Low-key, I think he might have been the one that helped Javi a
I was
little bit
just
too.
about to say that. I was going to give you the floor, but I firmly believe that. I believe that having someone like that in your locker room who's, I feel like, a similar player, and they have a lot of the similarities in their swing, and it really helped him because you see how he's able to shorten up that swing. He's got lower whiff rate than over the last 2 years. You're really seeing Javi at a way higher level than you ever see him in a Tiger uniform.
Yeah.
And I think it's partially from Gleyber Torres and just the more talent in the locker room.
Yeah.
I think that he's more engaged. Because of the fact they're winning. Like when he was on the Cubs, you could see the energy, you know, the aura, the vibes that he was giving off.
Fucking stirring it
exactly.
up.
Exactly. You're seeing that now. You know, he's ripping the bone saw and he's having a good time out there, and he looks like he's enjoying coming to the ballpark every day, which is something you can't say that he's been doing over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think having Glaber in there, like obviously you have a lot of coaches in there that used to play big league, but it's like they're your coach. But when you have a guy like Glaber who's also a vet in this league, that's also been like the highest highs, like to have that conversation with you as your boy, like as like a brother almost, I feel like sometimes the message can be perceived differently. It feels more, I don't want to use the word nurturing, but like more compassion, I guess. I don't know, than a coach trying to fire you up a little bit. And I can't say for sure that's what's going on. It just feels like it, to be honest with you. I'm with you on that one.
I do think that is a big point, and I also think Javier Baez probably was tired of being the biggest clown in the MLB.
For sure. He's locked in right now.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, last night, 4 RBIs. Like, the Tigers don't win that game if Javier Baez doesn't have those 2 big hits at all.
Who thought you'd be saying that shit?
I don't even know how he hit the second one. That ball was in the other box. And that's a ball where the last 2 seasons, he would never touch that baseball. Maybe it was a little bit of the hip as well. And
has to be.
A little bit, at least.
Yeah.
But I think it's most...
His eye is better, too.
Yeah. Dude. LASIK? Did he get LASIK? Somebody tell me that. I should probably know that if he did. But, yeah, Javier Baez, great night last night. 4 RBIs, 2 hits. I think... he was tired of being the biggest clown in the MLB because he was getting clowned on night in, day out. The Sister Jean memes, you know, the Javi swinging at, you know, the pitch and going to space, everything that you saw. And I think it's just the respect of himself where he had to look in the mirror and he had to buy into what this organization was selling, where you do have to see a few more pitches. And I feel like he's done that this season. And I mean, the sky's the limit for this team if Javier Baez is actually a contributor to go along with a couple other 1-1s that I know we're going to dive into later, because this team has so many storylines, but those 3 might be the biggest ones. But, Gritty Tiggs just absolutely crushing it right now.
On top of that, obviously, we got the Detroit Tigers beat reporter on the show with us, so we're going to be talking Tigers, but also we got the Detroit Lions, Vegas Lions coming out. We got... Speaking coming out, Jadeveon Clowney released from the Panthers. Definitely gonna have that conversation. And Chris did a little bit of mathletes. Yeah, I got into his bag a little bit with some. What'd you call it?
So I just looked at historical comps. You know, kind of like what I did for the playoffs for a couple Piston players that people have been talking about. We'll get to it. But it's gonna be a good breakdown. Good.
Yeah, because I put out that clip yesterday of us talking about like the future of the Detroit Pistons team, and are we gonna be able to afford to keep everybody, especially with the aprons and stuff like that. And I could see a guy like Tom Gore is willing to pay it if you're winning championships. Until that, though, I don't think you come out there and say he's going to pay these cap apron taxes. But Chris is going to break it down for us, let us know how far away we are from that, if in an event that we re-sign these guys. But Feist, Chris, don't we got to pay some bills?
We do gotta pay some. Bills. You gotta pay that Mark White bill. You know,
pay that Mark White bill. Let me tell you guys. I don't know if we're going off my sheet or your sheet, so let's do it.
All right.
Mark White. Sells.com. Make sure you visit the website. He can save you up to $5,000 in the closing cost of your brand new home. If you don't want to visit the website, you just want to call him up, talk to him man to man. Also talk Detroit Lions because he is a fan. It's 248-290-8242. It's 248-290-8242 or markwhitesells.com.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by, and there are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Make sure you guys check out Planet Fitness. There's one nearby near you.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm joined by Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. the Detroit Tigers beat reporter for Woodward Sports.
Gritty Tiggs.
Bonesaw. Shout out to Chris making it on time. Shout out to Jerry making it on time.
Shout out, Jerry.
I thought you were about to be late. What happened? You made it. Were you speeding?
Nah, I wasn't speeding.
I was like, damn, I'm setting a bad example because I've been late like the past 2 weeks. Also, shout out to Justin in the massage chair. What's that one called? The Pharaoh?
Yeah, the Pharaoh. I'm feeling like a Pharaoh. Shout out to Loom for the buzz cocktail as well.
Shout out, Loom.
Shout out.
You gotta shout them out.
Phenomenal job.
They have a new raspberry lemonade. It's the best one by far. It's so good.
We're throwing shout outs out. That sounds weird to say. Shout out Don Kelly, baby.
Don
The
Kelly,
new
baby.
manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates. What can this man not do when it comes to baseball?
Interim manager.
Interim manager. Still.
Well, yeah, you
You're
got
the manager.
I
You're,
like
you're
it.
the guy in charge.
I think Donnie Kelly, baby, was one of the most biggest utility players of all time in Detroit.
For sure.
And plus, he was doing it on good Tiger teams. Jim Leland loved the guy.
He did.
If you were giving the 3-hole hitter a day off, boom, Donnie Kelly hitting in the 3. I didn't love it at the time.
I was just saying,
but that's what Leland did.
I was just saying,
I didn't like it at the time.
some people hated him, I feel like, yeah.
That is what he did, though.
Doesn't Flannel hit him?
Flannel
A lot of
probably
people
hates
hated him. My uncle hated him. Shout out to my uncle. by the way.
Your
Hey,
uncle hated him.
If you're listening, Uncle Fred, shout out to you. Before
Generational
the
hater.
Knicks, generational hater for sure. But before the Knicks Celtics series started, he texted me, told me the Knicks were winning the NBA championship. So we bet a steak dinner at a nice place. I don't know if they're gonna win the fucking NBA championship, but 2-0 start against the Celtics, that's actually insane.
Dude, that's insane. Now, to be clear, I did pick them to get killed, but when I put that in the chat, in our group chat, just messing with you, I was just fucking around. But yeah, I did not see this coming. No, I did predict Boston to kill them, but like in that aspect, I wasn't even paying attention. You just said, I don't know, Knicks could be competitive. I was like, shut up. Like I wasn't hearing it. But hey,
Josh Hart came out and said exactly what I said, by the way. I don't know if you caught that, by the way, but
Man, Josh Hart says a lot
some
of things.
context. Monday night, I text the group chat. I'm like, yo, I think this series might go 6 or 7. I think I said if it's 6, it's
7.
Boston, but if it's 7, it says the Knicks, or vice versa. Either way. And Chris was like, fuck you.
So yeah.
He's full of shit.
I chose violence. There was no meaning to that. But
2 games later.
Violence. Yeah.
Yeah. Easy,
No, that's
you
just
were
been
right.
crazy.
Yeah,
Jalen
you
Brunson, they did actually have a great game last night,
Dude,
but he's Mr. Clutch.
So I kept saying in Detroit, like at games 3 and 6, I kept flipping that Drake bar where he has like, "You not Kobe to us at all." Like I kept flipping it to like AI because like everybody's like, "Oh, like he's this small, like dynamic little guard that's gonna carry this team." I'm like, "You not Allen Iverson? He's playing like Allen Iverson,
he is.
bro. He is absolutely
Dude, honestly,
balling. More efficiently, but like
he's so good right now that he's just Jalen Brunson. Like I don't even want to.
fair.
Like, is that crazy to me? Is that too early to like give him that type of
What?
credit?
No,
That
because
you're
he's
not
done it for
confident in
multiple
that
I'm not
postseasons
confident.
now.
He's just Jalen Brunson. He's balling out of his mind.
I saw a
it's
stat
crazy,
today
yeah.
that said he has 86 crunch time points. 86 crunch time points or fourth quarter points. The next in the NBA playoffs is Jamal Murray with 40.
That's insane.
More than double.
The thing
Did you
too.
guys-
Go ahead.
After you. No.
I was gonna say like, smaller guards. We see in regular season play, you see small guards like do numbers, but when it comes like the playoffs, that shit don't work. Like Isaiah Thomas, all that shit like that, like it gets shut down. he's the only guy that's like doing it and actually like winning games too. Like that's why it's
Trae
impressive
Young
to me.
has done it, but he wasn't winning. Like Trae Young would go get his.
Yeah.
Like, he for sure was one of those small guards that would go get. He was the only one that could really score on that team, so he had to. But Trae Young was one that. But no, yeah, Jalen Brunson is on a whole different level.
I got a couple questions for you guys here. I'm gonna start with just an absolute fumble by the Dallas Mavericks. You lose Brunson and you lose Luka Doncic, two guys that are just elite right now. Terrible job by Dallas. Everybody knows that they're terrible. But the New York Knicks and the Boston Celtics are two of the most hated teams in Detroit right now. Just for the history of the Celtics being, the top dog. And then the Knicks just came in here in a series I believe the Pistons should have won. And now you see them doing this to the Celtics. My question to you guys is, who do you want to win the series? Do you want to see the Knicks upset the Celtics?
Knicks Pacers would kind of be cool, even though I don't know. I hate New York and Boston, so like to me, it sucks no matter what.
The Boston run's boring to me. Like the New York, as much as it's like fuck them, they're kind of more fun to watch, in my opinion.
Does that New York Knicks thing, like if anyone's picking the Knicks here, like does it make the Pistons losing to them better or worse the further they get?
It hurts me, dude. It hurts. I'm going to be honest with you. It really does, because we were that close to beating them. 2 games. I know Eazy feels differently. Yeah. We're not going to revisit this, but 2 games that they choked at home with the lead in the fourth, turning the ball over multiple times.
But real quick, I'm fine. You want to say the game was choked? Sure. I'm just saying the series. Spinney was saying the series was choked.
I was saying game 4 and game 6 they choked.
Yeah, you choked those games away, but it affects the series. I think that's a better way to put it. You didn't choke the series away. You choked those games away that affects the series outcome.
Yep. I think they win the series if they don't choke away those games. So I'm almost more hurt that they are winning. Because I really am. Because if they're doing this and they were so prepared because of what Detroit did to them, where they are now punching the Celtics back in the mouth after being down in 20 in both of these games, I guess I think I'm more hurt. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I'm more hurt too, because you know what? It felt, honestly, and maybe this is just because the Pistons haven't been competitive in the playoffs, but this felt like, okay, Pistons in New York, we could have a little bit of a rivalry here. This could be a fun back and forth. But the further they get, like say they get to the conference finals, or say they get a championship, then next year if we beat them, they could just be like, shut up, you ain't shit till you get to the conference finals or you win a championship or whatever. So I kind of want that rivalry to happen. But it sucks for Detroit, because no matter what, like you have Indiana, Cleveland, and New York, 3 teams that I would like the Pistons to have rivalries with, and I may be in the process of that. But depending on how these playoffs shake out, at least 1 or 2 of those teams will be able to talk heavy shit to us no matter what next season. So I don't know. So to me, it hurts. And Nick, I agree with your point there. It kind of does think maybe Detroit did have some type of shot. Were they able to get out of New York? I don't know. But yeah, it hurts either way. It hurts more to me. Easy. Does it hurt more or less to you that the Knicks are succeeding?
I like it better that they're succeeding. I like the fact, like, I'd honestly probably prefer them to win this series. One, I obviously told you the entertaining factor. Like, I think Jalen Brunson is amazing to watch. Like, not only is he great at basketball, but he's undersized too. Secondly, just knowing that we took him to that point. Like Josh, that's why I didn't get to point to. I should send you the clip actually. Josh Hart said last night, "Listen, we just played a series. We got beat by bats. Like they were beating the shit out of us." And he credited that to coming into this Celtics series and being a championship team. And it's just so cool. I guess as a Detroit fan, like the lineage of like the franchise is every great's been able to say that for the most part. Like outside of maybe Bird, who we had to catch up to beat. But Jordan, going through his phase, had to get beat by the Pistons, overcome that to become himself. LeBron had to get beat by the Pistons to overcome that, become like who he is. And now you're seeing this Knicks team. I'm not saying they win a championship or anything like that, although Uncle Fred is, shout out. But to hear them come out of that series and credit the Detroit Pistons for turning on that switch for them to play physical playoff basketball, I'll take it. Like that gives me hope for what we got going on, because historically that's what wins in Detroit.
I think essentially, like, with Josh Hart coming out and saying that, I feel like we fueled their fire. Like, I feel like we showed them the type of physicality that you have to be in the playoffs to win a series. Like, I mean, we showed that level of physicality. And I think I think the energy just transferred over. Because, I mean, if you deal with that for 6 games, you're going to want to, you see what kind of toll it has on you. So you essentially want to bring that into the next series with you. Like, okay, well, this had a toll on us. Let's try to do this against them and see what happens. And I think that's essentially what the Pistons did for the Knicks, is they fueled that fire for them. And like Josh Hart said, we got beat with bats, so we came into this series, we brought our bats with us so we could fight back. And I think that's what they're doing. And granted, these Celtics are choking these leads, but I think it's the physicality that we gave to them that they're bringing to this series that is making the Celtics uncomfortable.
I think out of Cat especially, like, typically he's been clowned for being a little soft, but, like, we saw him that series against the Pistons, although it would never have happened had Isaiah Stewart been on the floor. But him get a little chippy with Paul Reed, and get a little chippy with other guys too, smaller guys, don't respect it, but, like, him to carry himself that way, I think they needed that version of him for this series. And I listen, they already credited it. It's not just me being a Detroit fan, slappy, like, credit my Pistons for a playoff they're not even in no more. They came out and said it. Josh Hart, like, we got beat with bats. We brought our bats to this series. Now they're up 2-0 going back to New York. When's that series end? Is this a sweep, right?
There's no way.
Fire.
I mean, Boston has to fight back.
Can Boston win?
They've been there before.
They can still win.
New York. I don't think it's hard to win in the Garden at this point.
That's what I was going to say.
We did
right there.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think that the Garden is some, like, place that you can go into that's too rowdy. I think actually, I don't know. Is it harder for the Knicks to play in the Garden? Like, what is it about the Garden, Chris? I know you're more tapped in with the basketball, but I believe it's other teams get up to play there, and they play there night in and night out.
The Garden is literally famous for other guys going there and killing the Knicks.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
And I think that's definitely part of it. What were you saying?
I was just saying, I feel like there's so many distractions in the Garden with how many people come out to the Garden and watch them play. Like, I feel like there's a sense of
that's what you get is you get, like, in New York, you get and I'm not trying to disrespect the New York crowd, but in the Garden, you do get a little bit of that elitist, like, people that are there for the status of being at the Garden, not actual fans, versus, like, when you come to a city like Detroit, you have your stars, but I heard New York podcasts making fun of, like, oh, it was great to see the front row, like, Detroit stars, but it's like, no, that's because who's front row are the people who live, breathe, and die for this shit, who've been waiting moments to have a meaningful playoff game. And I think that just brings a higher atmosphere, and Trajan said it himself in his press conference, and I think that's the reason. Plus, I think today's day and age, I think we're just seeing home court matter less in the NBA. I think that's part of it. Like, I think we're seeing a lot more road wins, and that's evident by what we have in the second round. I'm pretty sure all teams are
nowadays.
What's that?
Saying fans are soft nowadays?
I mean, maybe not. I don't know, or maybe just players are used to it. I'm not in the mind of a player.
I thought it was cool the first game, but when they start killing us, let's just stop. It feels like we're fueling this.
I don't know. I'm behind it. I think he was going to go off either way.
I mean, look, the only team to win at home so far in the playoffs in this round is OKC last night. That's it.
Yeah,
all the other games are road wins.
Indy took 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, God, I
think
hate
it's just
that
a
Indy
series,
took
though.
2 as well.
I'm already saying
like
home
that.
court don't mean anything. I think it's just you got good matchups.
Yeah.
I think and as much as hate and backlash has been getting lately for whatever reason, but Adam Silver's NBA, like this new turn where you're not building these super teams, I think it's kind of shaping out. Because right now, I couldn't tell you who's the favorite to win the championship right now, in my perspective. I know Vegas has a favorite listed right now, but I couldn't tell you. I think it's truly a crapshoot.
Yeah, I think it's still OKC. I know it was after they lost game 1. They were still the championship favorite. It was like they were like plus 117 or something like that. So
is that who it is to you?
What's that?
Is that who it is to you in your eyes? That's what I'm saying. I know Vegas is a favorite.
Yes, but I'm also willing to bet the absolute house that they don't win. So, like, in my mind, it makes sense that they're the favorite. But I don't know. They strike me as that team. And this Denver game was game 1 was an example of that. I think as good as they are, I think they're still 1 year away. I'm just a firm believer, and it takes a long time to climb that ladder to be champion. And you're seeing that with Boston. You're seeing that with Denver. You're seeing that with every team that's won championships recently. It's been a long climb to get there. So I think that's what it is more than anything.
It's that
I got some
like we've talked about. I'm sorry, but it's been that youth. That youth has been killing these teams in the series. You look at OKC, how young they are.
They're also just deep.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys that can go out there and play, but essentially you're young. Like you got to know how to play the smart way. I feel like there's a different level of IQ when it comes to the playoffs.
If OKC can figure out how to keep all them guys, that's just
like you
scary.
have to be there to figure out what's going on. Like, and nobody on that team has really been in this standpoint.
Yeah.
Like
that's what the Pistons situation was.
Exactly.
Yeah, obviously Trajan also saw that in Cade. Like some of those turnovers late are probably mental because he's tired and everything. Like you have to go through that. You have to train for that, like he alluded to. But these are some of the updated odds. It's still OKC plus 120. So that's what the NBA odds makers think about their chances. Celtics plus 340. Cavaliers down 0-2 plus 850. Which I think is crazy.
That's insane.
Timberwolves.
That series might be a sweep. I'll come out and say it.
Timberwolves plus 1,000. Knicks plus 1,100. Pacers plus 1,400. So, something's going on in Indiana.
I might throw a little something on the Knicks, though. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, Knicks, Pacers.
I ain't mad at it.
It'll be a great series. I don't know.
I ain't mad at it.
I'm so pissed that the Pistons aren't in this, dude. I'm so angry still. Dude. It hurts. And the Tigers go final. 10-2.
Let's go to break. Recap that.
Go to break. We're real quick.
Tell us about that merch.
Real quick, let me tell you about that merch. If you're tired of that same old Detroit sports merch, head on over to woodwardsports.com. Click that shop tab there. Get yourself some brand new merch. Hoodies, tees, hats, all that, all teams, all seasons. Make sure you are tapping in with the best Detroit sports merch in the game, Woodward Sports.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Give me a sec.
Let's stand for Chevrolet. Let's stand for Chevrolet.
Les Stanford. Les Stanford.
Happy about it?
There it is. Les Stanford.
Get your crew car.
$289 per month.
There we go, baby. There we go. First time. Les Stanford Buick and GMC has great offers for everyone. Get a 2025 Envision Preferred AWD for only $259 per month, or try out the 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation for only $169 per month. Don't forget about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV for only $699 per month. Go to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick and GMC, lesstanford.com. And the Detroit Tigers win this one, 10-2. Eazy, how you feeling?
Give us a post game, Chris.
My bad.
No, you're good. Set it up.
What are you supposed to rip it? We had a plan.
We're not in the solo shot. And the Detroit Tigers. All right. The Detroit Tigers win this one 10-2 against the Colorado Rockies, as your former #1 overall pick did exactly what he needed to do today, and that is absolutely dominate inferior roster in the Colorado Rockies. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 8 Ks, 0 walks for what I believe is your #2 starter right now that I believe truly would be your number 2 starter if you were to play a playoff series today. Casey Mize has the confidence back. We have a video to play later, but this is great to see. And great to see you did all of this with Riley Green out of the lineup. Today, Malloy, 2 hits, RBI, and a walk. Torres, 2 hits, RBI. Great oppo hit from Gleyber Torres. You got to see Zach McKinstry get into the fun with an RBI as well. And then the lefty killer himself, Andy Ibanez, does what he does best.
Nothing's more consistent than Andy Ibanez.
Andy Ibanez ripping lefties, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Spencer Torkelson, single in the first, RBI. Then the big double, 3 RBIs on the day for the other number 1 overall pick on this Detroit Tiger team that's absolutely crushing right now. Javi Baez have a day. That's what I'm talking about.
Mago,
10-2. Detroit Tigers win this one. Nicholas Kohloff, Woodward Sports.
Fire. Cut and print. Beautiful, baby. Dynamite.
Yeah.
Andy Ibanez, it's funny how it was like lore, him versus the lefties.
Yeah.
It's real. It's real. It's like every time this guy he can't hit shit against righties. Every time he's a lefty pitcher, Andy Ibanez is fucking fires up. God bless him.
You can't put Andy Ibanez down because every single time that you need a big hit against a lefty, he's back hitting.
It's crazy.
Today, where did they had him hitting in the 1, 2, 3, the 4 spot? Andy Ibanez ripping the 4 spot against a lefty. Like that is
2 RBIs though. Like, he
2 RBIs. Yeah, that's what he does. That's why this team is so good, is because AJ Hinch puts every single player in the spot where they are the most likely to be successful, and you see it happen more times than not. Like last night, I was shocked that Justin Henry Malloy didn't get a hit after pinch hitting for Colt Keith going up against the lefty, because you see it succeed so often.
Yeah.
So when it doesn't succeed, you're actually surprised. But obviously today, righty stacked lineup, you got to see Malloy, Torres, Ibanez, Torkelson, Baez, Nido, all with hits. The righties going up against the lefty. That's what this team does best. AJ Hinch just maneuvering that lineup.
Yeah, I remember we were talking earlier, you were saying like a lot of the guys aren't really hitting for power, but you look at this team, especially the way it was built up from last year, not the way it was built up, the way they played last year, really was like strategically.
Yep.
And like the athletic guys, obviously no medals right now, but like it doesn't matter because we have guys that can run bases. It's like just get us those 1 single hits, and once we get going, it's consistently now that they all get everyone starts hitting at that point. Once those bats heat up, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I would say it's contagious. That's the best way to put it. And I think Trey Sweeney said in a post-game interview with Danielle Bruce that was really good, he's giving a lot of his success to a guy like Kerry Carpenter, taking him under his wing. And I think we've seen that a lot with this team. It's everybody's helping each other out. Like it's a very close-knit group. The times I've been out there and being able to see it, it looks like they are having fun during warm-ups, during BP, showing each other like different things with their swings when they're taking BP, what they're seeing, how the ball's flying. It's everybody is taking tips from one another, and a guy like Kerry Carpenter to take a guy like Trey Sweeney under his wing, obviously they're both lefties. Sometimes they both don't get the opportunities against the lefties, but I think AJ Hinch has been giving them a little bit more run this year. Kerry for sure, Trey Sweeney definitely a little bit, going up against those lefties. And I think hearing from the players that have done it and that are successful is so big for these young guys. You're seeing a guy like Sweeney really take off, and I feel like a lot of it is because the guys above him giving him the confidence to do so and the tips to ultimately be successful.
And real quick, I want to shout out my guy Scott in San Diego.
Shout out Scott.
And DJ Devo in the Key West, keeping the Detroit vibes while they're out of town. Justin, how you feeling about the Tigers?
They're the best team in baseball, man.
The chair's taking them down.
Oh, shoot. The chair kind of took over my take here, but I mean, they're putting down bad teams. They're playing with good teams. I mean, they played almost every one of the best teams in the MLB. The only series they didn't win was against the Dodgers. I mean, that's the proof's in the pudding with that one. And they just continue to play good ball. And like Nick said, no Riley Green today. Other guys continue to step up. Abanya is literally makes any lefty his daddy.
It's awesome. Bro.
Like, it's actually epic.
It's kind of crazy. It's legend.
And I think one of the things during this game that was, clear as day, just with the gap of this, these two teams' talent is they had 3 errors within the first 2 and a third inning. The Rockies did. What did the Tigers do? Capitalized.
Yeah.
On every single error that they had, they made them pay for it, and that is what great teams do. The Tigers, 24-13. This team is just so much fun to watch right now. Put everything down in the chat. Put your comments how you feel about this Detroit Tiger team right now. You shouted out Scott. I want to shout out DJ DeVoe, listening to y'all from the Key West.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Did you shout him out?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a different guy.
No, that's fine. Give him another one. Yeah, shout out
I thought
those
it was a
guys
different guy from San Diego.
No, there's 2 of them.
Shit.
DJ DeVoe and Scott in San Diego.
Shout them out. Good stuff.
I have a question for you guys. And
Yes,
this
sir.
is a question that we went into on
What if he's like, how do you feel about the new Pope? No, I'm just kidding.
Shout out. Hey,
Let's dive deep.
Villanova.
Put it on the Knicks.
Dude, there's a Pope with actual investment in the Detroit Lions versus Bears games now. I guarantee you.
I mean, that'd be clown. I'd love to see it. But in terms of the Tigers, who do you think can sustain their success out of the 4-leg parlay that we're currently hitting between Mize, Torkelson, McKinstry, and Baez? Who's able to sustain their pace that they're on?
Can we answer that after break?
Of course, man.
Tell us about White Claw.
White Claw. We are calling all Tigers fans. Join us for the White Claw Tigers Watch Party Tour. Woodward Sports will be hitting 4 of the top bars in Detroit to watch a Tigers game live on the network. Join the Woodward heavyweights as we hit McShane's, Irish Pub, Nemo's Bar, second best in Old Miami. Those are 4 of the best bars in Detroit. Make sure you guys come join. Be part of the fun and see our reactions live on Woodward Sports Network for one of the hottest teams in baseball. Join Spencer and Eazy on Friday, May 23rd for our watch party at McShane's Irish Pub in Corktown. It's White Claw Watch Party, brought to you by East Town Distributors and Venn Johnson Law.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball's gone. Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Hey, Tony, what's up, bro?
Same circus, different clowns.
For sure. You want the usual, the big zip?
You know me too well. Oh.
I threw a little something extra in there for your ma.
Oh,
Hope
man.
she's doing all right.
Ay, guy, sei un santo. You're a saint.
All right, buddy, we'll see you next time, okay?
Grazie.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Dr. Pierce, attention sports fans. Don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that D-Mac trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game at performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
What up, though? Welcome back to Whatever Waits Live on WoodsportsSports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by Nick, Young Chris, Shampoo, Justin in the building as well. Smash that like button, be a friend, tell a friend, and share the stream. Before we went to break, Justin, you asked an interesting question. Which one of the 4 legs on this parlay for the Detroit Tigers will continue hitting? And what were those names again?
What?
Refresh us for the chat, because I want the chat's answers as well.
Who is able to sustain their early season success between Spencer Torkelson, Casey Mize, McKinstry, and Javi Baez?
I have my answer, but I don't want to steal Nick's, because I do know what Nick's is. So I want you to go first, because I agree with you.
I'm so in between on 2 players. I think it's clear as day that there's two guys separated on here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the two former number 1 overall picks. In my eyes. Those are the two guys that separate themselves. I'm so thrilled with what Javier Baez is doing for this team.
Yeah.
But I cannot take back what I've seen of the last 3 years of baseball out of Javi, and specifically the last 2 years of baseball, where he's been the worst player in the major leagues. And now we have Javier Baez, the magician, who is the best player, like leading the Tigers, Javier Baez, who is leading the Detroit Tigers in WAR right now out of all their position players. Is that sustainable? I don't think it is to this level, but I'm gonna take the guy that is tied for 5th in the home runs in the major leagues, and that's Spencer Torkelson right now.
Okay,
I think it is right there with Casey Mize, but sounds like you're interested in saying Mize. I'm going Torque here.
Okay.
Because I believe the pitching for this team is ultimately deep enough where you can succeed if Casey Mize isn't the absolute dude.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this Detroit Tigers team can survive if Torkelson isn't hitting, plus an 850 OPS.
Yeah.
Hitting over that. I don't know if this Tiger team can survive without that.
I agree to that point, but just in terms of who I expect to continue outperforming the expectations we had for him going into the season, for me it is Mize. I think everything we've seen out of him now, the changeup especially, has been at a consistent level. He's 5-1, that 2.7 ERA, and just it's a little bit of a cheat given the question who can be more consistent, because he also plays once every 5 days. It's a lot easier to go with a pitcher in that situation than guys that are batting every day. I'm going Casey Mize in terms of the guys continue on fire throughout the season.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Casey Mize to me is that obviously his confidence is back when he's out there. I know we have a clip that I'm excited to play later from the Dan Dickerson and Jason Benetti interview that they had with him. By the way? Is that something it is the Tigers podcast that they put out.
I didn't even know they had that.
Yeah, they started it last year. It's really good. Obviously, two of the best in the game. You have Dan Dickerson and Jason Benetti. I mean, people open up when they're talking to two GOATs, and those two guys are two of the best in the game. And Casey Mize, I mean, he had the stuff coming out of college, but you never saw him at the level that he is currently at for the Detroit Tigers throughout his whole entire career. You've never seen him as good as he is right now. He just took over this game today. He never gave the Rockies a chance. They got their leadoff guy on, and then he gets 12 straight outs. Casey Mize is on an unreal comeback along with all of these players. I'm not trashing on Javi either. I don't want it to be taken that way. I'm thrilled that Javi's doing this, but I just think Mize and Torque have separated themselves, and they have the pedigree of being that number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
They can take over
these
weeks. They can take over months, and they can take over seasons where you're looking back and you're like, wow, the Tigers actually went on to win the American League, and they were led by 2 former number 1 overall picks, Casey Mize and Spencer Torkelson, finally hitting their ceiling. And I believe that's what you're seeing right now for this Detroit Tigers team when you're talking about 2 potential all-stars that are helping this team. One that is tied for 5th in the MLB in home runs, Spencer Torkelson, ripping doubles night in, night out, extra base hits, RBIs, anything you want to hear. And then Casey Mize, who is solidifying this rotation as a dominant pitcher.
Yeah.
He's not just average at all. He's
Probably
not just
your number
good.
2 guy right now.
He is looking like a great starter in the MLB and a guy that you can rely on every single time he goes out there to get you 6 innings and less than 3 runs.
To the Torque point too, because I obviously we're forced to pick one here, but Torque would have been my second pick because the thing I noticed about him is they started pitching him differently too. He's seen a lot of different stuff. They're walking him at the end of games, which has been pretty sick. But then he bounced back. He had a little bit of a slump.
Yep.
But now he's right back to it. And that for me, obviously this should be a surprise already. Him being able to do that, that's gonna last all season. It really is.
Yeah, I do believe it can last all season, and I think you saw it last night more than ever. It was 0 for 4, comes up, bottom of the 10th, or top of the 10th. You got Riley on second. What does he do? He gets a ball, drives it to right center field. All the momentum immediately back on the Tigers' side. That's the thing that you're seeing. Torkelson has come up time and time again this season in big spots. Clutch hitting from Spencer Torkelson. I think back to the walk-off in the second series of the year, or I think the first series at home. It was the White Sox game. Justin and I were both there at the same time. The walk-off double. Spencer Torkelson, who else? The place absolutely erupts. And every single Tiger fan wants Spencer Torkelson, was pulling for Spencer Torkelson. Not all of them had faith in him, but they obviously wanted him to come back and be great. This organization did not have faith in Spencer Torkelson. They moved Colt Keith over to first. Gleyber Torres goes to second after you sign him. They literally put the pressure on him. And what did he do? He looks like an all-star right now, and that's the kind of guy I would put my faith in to keep it up, because the pressure was put on him for his career as a Detroit Tiger, and he came through. That's the guy I will put my faith in to keep this up all season, ultimately become an all-star for the Detroit Tigers and get his first AL all-star nod.
And shout out to Weezy D313 in the chat. He's like, to all the bums that were saying Colt Keith would take his job, all that shit like that. Then you're talking about AJ Hinge as well, because he was the one that put Colt Keith at first.
Yeah.
That was the guy that made the decision. Like, Torque, I guess, as you just said, had to fight his way back to that spot. And credit to him, he did so. But it wasn't a hater thing. My man was bad last year. And that's why when we get into this next topic, like, who is the comeback player of the year in baseball, let alone just the Tigers, they got 3 different candidates.
Yep.
We'll get to that. Justin, I don't even want to talk about the parlay. Who's going to sustain what they're doing right now?
I agree with both of you, as both made great points about Mize and Torque, but I believe that Javi is going to sustain.
Whoa!
I said it on the morning show. I think that he has made significant changes to his swing. He's changed to more of a contact swing. His whiff rate is down, like I said before, and if you look at his advanced metrics, there's one that measures if the sweet spot between the infield and the outfield, and he's hitting that at a higher clip than he has in his entire career. So the contact numbers are up, and I just expect as this team continues to win, like I said earlier, I think the energy, having Torres in there, being a contender, all those things keep him engaged, and that's why I think he's going to be sustained, because he's still engaged in the team. And I think, I'll be the first one to put my faith in Javi Baez.
I respect it. I really do. I mean, it's really going out there. Spinney did it already too.
Yeah.
We gave him shit for it. I remember we thought that Sweeney was going to be your day-to-day, which he might be, because Javi's so damn good in the outfield.
Yeah. I mean, Trey Sweeney's balling right now. Let's not act like he's just he's an above average hitter right now, hitting 260 and 724.
No, for sure.
Like that in today's day and age is above average.
I'm talking about day-to-day short, like the guy playing defense out there.
Yeah. We have so many good players. Our lineup is stacked now.
It's an AJ Hinch wet dream. I mean, that's how this roster was created.
Yeah, exactly. And I also think it wasn't just AJ. I think it was Scott Harris as well.
No doubt.
When it comes to making that move.
I think they're a perfect pair.
Real quick, as gross as it sounds, a lot of these picks are Al Avila.
Yeah.
Yep.
Straight up. It's gross. But I mean, it's for real. It's what we're looking at.
Yeah,
shout out to Scott for grabbing the per personnel pieces. Like, that's what Al Avila sucked at. But these draft picks by Al.
Yeah.
Granted, he was picking.
Well, I mean, the Riley Green pick was a gimme.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, fairly. Granted, you're picking pretty early.
Yeah, I will say for Scott Harris, so he's the one that brought in Gleyber Torres to put at second.
Yes.
Instead of Colt Keith, to then move to first base, to then put pressure on Torque. There was realistically a shot. This is one of the things I was thinking about before the show. There was a shot none of these 3 players were going to be on this roster.
I know.
That's a fact. Javi Baez, Spencer Torkelson, and Casey Mize. Alex Cobb got hurt. Parker Meadows, Matt Vierling got hurt. Both of them lit up the spring training, where they forced their hand onto this roster along with the injuries. But there was a spot where last year Mize wasn't pitching in the playoffs. Spencer Torkelson wasn't succeeding in the playoffs when he came back. Like, there was a lot going on for these guys, but I think it ultimately put the pressure on them where they could, I think the former number 1 overall picks within themselves, like, looked themselves in the mirror, said, I got to make some changes here.
Yeah.
I need to hold myself accountable, and that's what you've seen happen through Spencer Torkelson, through Casey Mize, through Javier Baez. And it's one of the things in baseball that nobody saw coming. Like, we all talked about this team if they were to make the playoffs and win the division. Nobody was talking about this team being the best team in the American League, though. And that's what you're seeing because these 3 players specifically are all looking like stars.
We still have Meadows chilling.
Yep.
Gold Glove Meadows.
You still got Verlaine coming back.
Already hit a homer and a double in his 2 games in
and then
AAA.
you still got Max Clark loading.
What the? I mean, Rayner and McGonigal.
Yeah, what a time!
Dude, it's a great time, dude. We were talking about on the morning show. Every single team in Detroit is now at a point where they're good.
Yeah.
Even the Wings, who are like have issues.
It's big issues.
You're right.
Not big issues.
Oh,
don't blow it out of proportion.
Massive, biggest issues. No, I'm just kidding.
But
big fat fucking issues.
I think it starts with the goddamn president. No,
but like we're not far away from all 4 teams actually making the playoffs, and all 4 of them honestly being championship contenders. Like the Wings are the only team right now where you're like, oh, there's a question mark if they're going to be good enough to be a championship contender. But even so, you can see it. Like you can see the path to there. And that's where it's so great to be a Detroit sports fan right now.
Well, are we doing?
We suffered. We deserve this shit.
Are we doing on? I know we don't have like the full show sheet filled out. Are we doing the Detroit sports like comeback? Are we doing that as a segment or no?
At some point we'll get to it.
Okay, because I got something that ties in with that. But if we got a whole segment on it, I'll save it.
You go ahead and do it now because that one was more of like a Tigers comeback.
I mean. All right, I'm getting the signal. Let's just talk about it after. All
right, how many talk about the socials?
Yeah, I know we got some Lions to get to, some crazy talk from Vegas.
Crazy talk. Tell us about the socials, Chris.
Let me tell you about the socials, man. The best place to follow Detroit sports is Woodward Sports at Woodward Sports on all social media platforms. YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch. Everywhere you get your Detroit sports content, Woodward Sports is there. And delivering it to you the best way possible. You get breaking news, live reactions from your favorite Detroit sports personality hosts, and so much more. Make sure you are tapping in with Woodward Sports on all social media platforms. Once again, that's at Woodward Sports. Give us a follow.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Have a picture. If I told you could place a bet up to $1,000, and if you lose, you get that bet back, would you think I'm crazy? Scan this QR code, enter the code Woodward1000, and if your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get your deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, up to $1,000 back just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet just $20. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code on the screen.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by no spin my wax. We got Nick in the building, Young Chris,
what up?
Shampoo, a.k.a. Jerry, a.k.a. Seinfeld. We also got Justin.
Shout out.
Korean Jesus was the OG nickname. Did your anniversary just pass up recently or something?
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Real quick, because I do want to get some Lion stuff, but I did ask. We asked all you guys, put your names in the chat, who's going to sustain success out of the four-leg parlay we're hitting right now for the Detroit Tigers. 3-on-3 Court says Torque. Mitten Maid says Torque. It's the Ski Mask boy says McKinstry.
Should we get a little vote going?
You could if you want. I'm down.
Little chat poll.
I'm curious what Heavy's think, because Torque kind of ran away with it in the morning show.
Torque kind of running away with it right now. We got Hobby from Greg.
I feel like Mize is kind of getting a little disrespected in the chat.
I feel like it's just an easy answer.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
I think it was
I kind of brought it up
surprising.
like the guy that's only playing like every 5 days. Like it's
the guy was out of baseball for 2 years, and then came back, and he wasn't good.
But I'm talking about sustained success. Like who's gonna like keep on doing well? If you're only playing every 5 days, it's easier than a guy that's playing every day. You know?
Yeah, true. You could tank your numbers real quick in
Yeah.
5 days, especially early in the season.
Yeah, no
I guess
disrespect to him.
that's a good point.
Big Casey Myers, a vote for him right there from Weezy D 3-on-3.
Shout out.
What are we doing, guys? You want to move the Lions, or we just keep talking Tigers for a little bit?
Dude, they wanted all the Tigers this morning. We kept putting in the poll, Tigers or Lions, and they kept picking the Tigers.
People kept okay. How about this, Chris? Because I know you're not a big Tigers guy, so I know you want to bounce off it. Put the poll in there. Tigers, Stones,
I'll
Lions.
get the burners going. Don't you worry, baby.
No wings. They're dead to us right now.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't actually vote on those. You accuse me of that, but I don't.
No, I'm saying just make the poll, though.
I know.
Hey, just get your wings content for Woodward Wings. We got you covered there.
Yeah, there you go.
Me and
This
Spenny.
Saturday. Check it out. What time?
Every Saturday, 10 a.m.
Every Saturday, 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Can I give my little Detroit take then while we're waiting to see what the chat
what's up?
decides?
Yeah,
So when Nick put the good idea of Detroit sports comebacks in all of Detroit sports, we talk about Javi Baez and everything, and I was actually looking at it from a team perspective because I was Googling and I was like, wow, the Pistons just had a historic turnaround. The Tigers had a historic turnaround. The Lions a couple years ago, dude. Like, the Wings are due, man. Like, they have to be. Because all of these Detroit teams not only have turned it around and become good teams, they've had historic turnarounds. That Tigers run was improbable. That Pistons run, improbable. The Lions jumping from, 2 wins or 3 wins to 9? Or is it 8? What was that jump they had?
3 to 9.
3 to 9. Like
3, 6, 5.
12.
Yeah, like
to 15.
Yeah, dude, that's insane. Like the Red Wings just have to pick it up, dude. Like you can't be Stevie Y or anybody in the Red Wings, player, coach, president, doesn't matter. You can't be anyone in that organization looking at all of these Detroit teams doing what they're doing and coming from the mud and succeeding. Like you have to that has to punch you in the face, right? It has to.
I mean, being known as Detroit's most successful team and being the last one to the table, it's kind of a pretty brutal look, to be honest. And it's probably arguably taken the most time for them to rebuild. I mean,
for sure.
The Lions
Tigers
turned it around in 3 years. The Tigers turned it around in 3 years. The Pistons turned it around in 1 year. And the Red Wings are going on year 6. I'm the biggest one pushing the train of, sorry, I can't stand the fact that the V are in front of my face. All right. And the Red Wings, it's the NHL. It takes longer to rebuild. It takes the longest to get to the
Baseball
NHL.
NHL, really, because you got the minors.
You see the path, but you're right. Nick's right for banging the drum for substantial moves. It's something's got to be done. You got to go after some big-time names, and whether that's Mitch Marner or...
Yes,
where you at with that? You
bring
think
him
it's
in.
gonna happen? Stevie says he'll spend some money now.
Hey,
he'll say whatever he needs to say.
The reporter, that was kind of weird. The reporter gave him a specific amount, but I guess I get it. Like, he set the benchmark at 11. But Marner's like, what, 12, 14? Like, what type of money we're looking
talking
at?
13.5 at the minimum. We're
fucking
talking
do it
14.5
all day. Come
on the higher end. I mean, I think they're going to be in there like swimwear. I think they're going to be in on the action. I think they're going to get in on the bidding war. And I think that there's going to be a solid shot they have at Marner. But then there's a different leaf I also have my eye on. That's not John Tavares, which I'll tell everyone about tomorrow on Wake Up Woodward.
Love the tease there. Make sure you guys check it out.
Wake Up Woodward,
what do we got with this vote right now? Are we leaning Lions, Tigers?
Tigers are winning by... Oh, wow.
Oh, shit. It's
Damn,
close.
Dude.
If you guys want lines, you better get in there because
That's the Pistons, man. Dude, I'm so proud of my research, but damn, that shit is gone. All right,
I got it.
That shit is gone, dude. 5%? Are you kidding me?
Hey, we can hit the Pistons
it's
at the
47-47.
Oh, my Lord.
Tied.
40, dude, I told
46,
you.
46.
People want the Tigs.
Yeah.
All right, gritty takes.
That's crazy.
You guys want to hit a quick? All right, hit this. 5 minutes left. We'll go into Lions after.
All right, bet.
All right, fellas. We have 3 players that are in the top 5 for AL Comeback Player of the Year.
Yes.
And I want to sell you, if you had $10,000 free bet.
Free bet.
Who are you putting your money on here,
Kim
fellas?
Kardashian Player of the Year.
Everybody involved. You got Spencer Torkelson, highest on this list as the favorite for AL Comeback Player of the Year at plus 200.
Yep.
The third favorite, Casey Mize at plus 420. And the fifth favorite at Javi Baez at plus
crazy.
850.
He's fifth.
He is fifth. You got DeGrom at 2 and Trout at 4. So two legends.
I hate to say it, but dude, Javi Baez has the fucking value, man. Like, we're talking the worst OPS in league history last year.
He's leading the team in WAR right now.
And he's leading the team in WAR. Like, he was literally called to be DFA'd this year. And he might be an all-star. Like,
I also think Spencer Torkelson, though, I mean, it's the lowest odds.
That's what it is
at
for me.
Plus 200.
I hate the odds, but it's Torque all day for me.
Does that?
I mean,
Javi, he was a big league player for a long time.
Yep.
He got a big league contract. Like he's proven to be there. With Torkelson, we were talking about, can he even be in the big leagues?
Yeah.
He got sent down to the minors.
Yeah.
Like that's so for me, it's Torque because literally you were out of the fucking league. Where Javi, you've been there before. We know it was in there somewhere. You just were a broken shell of yourself.
Yeah, you're legitimately looking at an all-star in Spencer Torkelson, the best hitter in your lineup.
Top 5 in home runs.
95 RBIs.
yeah, you talking about a
35
Torque
homers.
40 home run season? Because
Yeah.
if you're saying he's hitting 40 bombs, then I'm easily taking Torque. Because that's
say
ridiculous.
32.
We're talking about a guy who, was just over 10 last year in home runs.
You're looking at legitimately like 95 RBIs, 35 home runs. AL, first base, all-star. Like, that's Spencer Torkelson right now. That's what
That
he's
was the
doing.
guy that's playing for the fucking Toledo Mud Hens last year.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. These guys that chat, haters. Well, you better call AJ Hinch, this guy Harris haters too.
Yeah.
Because and thank God for them forcing that on him. Like, brother, you got to figure some shit out. Because he did. He looked at himself in the mirror, and obviously he's come back a lot better. And I'm thankful for it. It's not haters. It's honest criticism that he needed, quite clearly. Because now we're looking at a guy that's contending for, am I tripping, MVP conversation in AL?
I mean,
obviously it's Judge.
It's Judge, but like, he is currently
in the
sixth.
conversation.
He's currently sixth in odds. He is sixth in odds in AL.
That's my comeback player of the year all day.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I saw a chat from Matthew Kruger saying, Casey Mize, why would he even be in this discussion?
Rest in peace,
He hasn't
Chet
played
Lemon.
in 2 years.
Well, maybe he said it wasn't even bad last year. Well, is a 5 ERA bad?
Yes.
Is that not
What
you
is
know,
what
you
is
expect?
average?
Like a
3, 4.
four,
Like a high 3. High
high
3.
like
three.
a 4-ish.
I think a high 3 still
Like
good.
3.8 to 4.2, we'll say.
Okay. Then that's
Yeah.
bad.
So he had a 4.5 ERA last year. Casey Mize, that is. And he didn't play for 2 years, Matthew Kruger. That's why he is in this discussion, because he is balling right now with the 2.53 ERA, where he's legitimately the second best pitcher on the best team in the American League. That is why he is on this list, and why I truthfully believe he could win this ultimately. I think it's him or Torque. I don't even know why Trout's on this list, dealing with all those injuries. And DeGrom, I wouldn't throw a penny on DeGrom. That dude's going to get hurt again, no doubt. If you want to see DeGrom, though, make sure you check out Comerica Park on Saturday as the Detroit Tigers take on the Texas Rangers. It's going to be rocking at Comerica this weekend.
And the average ERA last year was 4.33, and the year before that was 3.96. So great job,
Somewhere in the middle. Thank you, Justin. Yeah, I think that's big. But speaking about Casey Mize here real quick, I don't know if we got this great video. Could you rip it real quick, Chris?
Yeah.
Just speaking about Casey Mize and the comeback that this dude's been on. This is from Have a Seat with Benetti and Dickerson.
How does competitiveness come out when your typical avenue to get it out is not there?
That was something that I really struggled with, honestly. It's just there was no other avenue really for me to compete. And I don't think it really did come out. I think it just like festered in me, and there was never really another avenue for it to come out. And then, when I come back to almost playing, like that was a big question of, am I gonna be able to compete? Like I was a little bit of, not scared, but like that was one of the questions that I had to answer for myself is like, how is this competition going to go for me? Like, I haven't done it in 2 years.
Yeah.
Haven't found another avenue for it to come out. I wonder how this is going to go. You know, like, I normally this is just, yeah, I'm going to compete hard. I'm going to, you know, stay focused. I'm not going to, like, let the competition negatively affect me, but I'm afraid that it might, you know, now. So that's something I had to work on and work through prior to coming back that I was scared about.
Oh, yeah.
And the adversity that he was able to overcome is special. And that's why Casey Mize is legitimately up for the AL Comeback Player of the Year for everything that he just mentioned right there. He was out of baseball for 2 years. He had to fight back, not just physically, but mentally. And you're seeing Casey Mize really take off this season. He's currently 15th in the MLB in ERA, but he's currently 8th in the American League. And that's a guy that I will put all of my faith into to win a key game 2 starting after Tarek Skubal takes game 1, when you're in a big series against the Yankees, when you're going up against the Guardians in the playoffs. I have faith in Casey Mize to go out and dominate a lineup. Obviously, he faced the Rockies today, but he did what he needed to do. Went 6 strong after your bullpen gets taxed the night before. That's what you expect a leader and a top-of-the-rotation kind of guy to do.
Shout out to Casey Mize, man. My comeback player, definitely still Torque. The hobby stuff, I get there's the clauses contract that you wouldn't have seen him in AAA on top of the money you're paying him too. But again, he had his job because of that. He earned that job because of it. He was a big leaguer. He got a big contract because you know he could play at that level. Torque literally fought back for his job.
Yeah.
Like literally came back and earned his job back and then some.
Yeah.
That's it for me. But when we come back, I do want to talk about somebody that could use some comeback in their career. And that is Jadeveon Clowney, released by the Carolina Panthers at the edge position. The Detroit Lions may be able to, acquire and do some things. But first,
tell us about that,
Lady
buddies.
Janes?
Lady Janes or Buddies?
Buddies. Oh, wait, no, Lady Janes. You're right. I'm looking at the wrong one.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff, like gimmies on the golf course. We like uncomplicated, like Lady Janes haircuts for men. Walk in, sign in, and before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Lady Janes, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
The bats are hot, and the weather's getting hotter. Summertime in the D with Detroit's big hitters, Woodward Sports. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
ShopJars.com, guys. Visit the website now because you can find 27 locations across the great state of Michigan, including 9 right here in Metro Detroit, and one's coming to Milan, Madison Heights, and Grand Rapids. It's ShopJars.com, guys. Make sure you check it out. They got the best deals, top shelf quality, unmatched variety, and price for the people. ShopJars.com. What up, the woman, mate? World Heavyweights Live, WorldSports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by some more reaction on Chris Nicholas Kohloff. Shout out to everybody in the Woodward Sports chat. Appreciate you guys participating. Phil taking issue with me picking Torque as my comeback player. But, Nick, who was the top of those odds? Who was the favorite via Vegas?
Spencer Torkelson.
Oh, Spencer Torkelson.
He was.
Okay. You all can suck a fat dick. Moving on. Detroit Lions are in need of an edge rusher.
Yes, they are. Somebody got ripped online for saying something about it.
Yeah, I think
multiple times.
I think he covers the Tigers.
Yeah.
People told him to stick to baseball.
Yep.
Hella
they did, yeah, amongst a lot of other things. So it's a ruthless place out here.
Twitter is that
If
spot.
you don't agree, you will be shunned.
Exactly. Smash that like button. Jadeveon Clowney, edge rusher, former #1 overall pick.
Yep.
A veteran of the league, has been released by the Carolina Panthers. Nick, the Lions gotta. I'm not even going to play around with the question. Do they look into it? Should they? Yes. A million times yes.
Yep.
You're talking about a guy, and I hate this because a lot of casual fans out there, and I know. I love my Lions fans. I really do. I say this all the time. Detroit is probably the greatest sports city in the United States, in my opinion. Very casual when it comes to like just assessing football players. Yes, I understand that he was the #1 overall pick, and he never really panned out to become that version of what he was selected to be. However, he's still a damn good football player.
Oh, yeah.
With a lot more availability than the guy that you're paying on your team right now, and Marcus Davenport. The other thing, too, he plays the run. I love Zadarius Smith. I love his passion for the city. I love his passion for the team. And I love him stepping up for us last year and getting some sacks as well. Didn't play well against the run. I think we all kind of know that. You saw him out there in pass rushing situations specifically. Jadeveon Clowney is a guy you can have out there for both running reps and pass rushing reps. And he can be productive in both. Never a double-digit season in sacks, but he's given you 9.5 multiple times. He's given you multiple years of double-digit tackles for loss in the backfield. He plays the run, and he also plays power. I tell you guys all the time, don't expect the Detroit Lions to go sign an edge that weighs less than 260. Because what they like to do is grab a guy at 6'5" or 260 or whatever the height may be, 260 plus, that could collapse a pocket. And if you go watch, I should have broken the tape actually. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll send in tape tomorrow and show you guys how the Detroit Lions masterfully, and shout out to Trevor Sycamore coming on earlier today, breaking that down as well earlier this week, how the Detroit Lions masterfully grab guys that collapse a pocket and rush these quarterbacks into the arms of Aiden Hudson. That's what Jadeveon Clowney can do for you, on top of finishing with the sack as well. He's there for the Baltimore Ravens, turn that defense around. Peep that, too. The Ravens fall off of their defense last year, losing Jadeveon Clowney.
And that's when he had his best season. It's when he has talented people around him, when his team's actually competing for ultimately the Super Bowl. That's what happens. You saw in 23 when he was with the Ravens is when he did have 9.5 sacks. Who was he playing with? Matabuke, who had 13 sacks that season.
Yep.
Kyle Van Noy, who had 9 sacks that season. When he's on a stacked and loaded defensive line, that's when he thrives because he's not the one that has to deal with all of the pressure. But when he's also not playing for a team in the Panthers that are just trying to win a ball game here and there, he's actually more locked in, which I don't think would be a problem when he's playing for the Detroit Lions. I think you're going to be able to get the best out of the former #1 overall pick, the best, the most talented guy, or you're going to be able to get the most talent out, or the most, God damn it, you're going to be able to get the most out of Jadeveon Clowney and the talent he has if he's playing with the Lions. I talked about the Ravens. Also go back to when he played with the Browns, he had 9 sacks. Opposite who? Myles Garrett. When he's opposite other extremely talented players, you're going to see a very productive player, and I believe he could bring that to the Lions. I think this would be a perfect fit, Eazy. I would do this. I wouldn't bat an eye. But the fact of the matter is, will Brad Holmes do it? Because he is tired of hearing about the goddamn edge. Do you think Clowney will be a Detroit Lion at the end of the day?
I do not think Clowney will be a Detroit Lion at the end of the day.
Why?
I want it to happen. Like, don't get me wrong. And I think anyone that's going to play the casual game, like I already saw in the chat, Clowney's living off a high school rating. It's absolutely incorrect. Like, go look at the numbers. The guy's gotten multiple contracts for you don't live off a high school rating if you're getting multiple contracts in the NFL. You are productive at the NFL level. But one thing that he is still in question is the motor sometimes. And I just think this team is kind of predicated around that. But in this, dude, go win the fucking Super Bowl. I don't care at this point. And if you have a guy like Marcus Davenport that you may believe in a little bit more, the reality of the situation is this guy barely plays games. Grabbing a guy like Clowney allows you to put them in a rotational situation where he could be off the field and then you have more available for the rest of the season. But I don't think so. There are those questions. I do think Brad's going to look into it, and I think he absolutely should. I think it'd be a mistake if he doesn't. But get to Jadeveon Clowney. He plays the run. He gets out to the quarterback. He can set an edge. He can do everything you want on the football field. We're not asking. It's like when Brad Holmes on the radio station, he's like, listen, guys, like, we're not going to get another Aiden Hutchinson. It's difficult to get another Aiden Hutchinson. Brad, we're not asking for another Aiden Hutchinson, brother. We're asking to have a solid piece that you can count on game in and game out. We never who every single year since Aiden Hutchinson's rookie year, it's been somebody different on the opposite end of it. It's been Charles Harris. It's been Josh Pascal. It's been Marcus Davenport. There's never been a consistent name. All we're asking for is a consistent name that you count on game in, game out. And this just so happens to be a guy that not only brings you consistency, but also can get after the quarterback a little bit too.
And I feel like with that, like, he does everything right. So why not? And you talked about that motor. I feel like Detroit is known for bringing the motor out of guys that haven't had an opportunity. Like, they welcome people in who, like you said, are good at the game but don't have the opportunity. But he has proven that he can perform at the high level when there's somebody next to him, when he has a running buddy. Like, if he has a Hutch with him, he's going to perform a lot different because he knows the expectation. Like, why, I just don't understand why you wouldn't want to bring someone in that does everything right and that will give you everything he has, and you can bring that out of him. And he's going to play a lot more than Davenport is going to play. Like, and you're not going to find another Hutch, but you need to just find guys to complement Hutch.
Yes.
Like, that's the main thing.
At a consistent
you just
level.
want to find guys that complement him and kind of bring off a little bit of ease off of him and just make his job easier.
Especially because he's coming back from a major injury. Like, that is what we need. We need guys to take some pressure off this once was a Defensive Player of the Year favorite who you are building your defense around. You don't want to put all of the pressure back on Aiden Hutchinson, and I feel like Tyleik Williams, that draft pick did take a little bit of pressure off, being able to be a force in the middle, but I still believe on the opposite side, I do not have faith in Josh Pascal to be this guy that gets to the quarterback. I just don't. And if this is the way they obviously want to run their defense, okay, but what happens when you go up against the elite quarterbacks, the guys that can get out of the pocket and run a little bit in the playoffs? A Jalen Hurts, Daniels, think about the AFC teams, a Mahomes, a Lamar, a Josh Allen. I think you ultimately need to get these guys uncomfortable, and I don't believe, A, Marcus Davenport is going to make it that far, and B, Josh Pascal can make an impact in those games. That's where I want to be. I'm not worried about week 4. I'm not worried about week 14. I'm worried about the second and third round in the playoffs and ultimately the Super Bowl. That's what I'm concerned about. And Brad thinks that Josh Pascal's that guy and that Marcus Davenport's that guy. I don't. But, Brad said it. Why is everybody so worried about edge? Why is there? Hey, have you read the book? Have you read the book yet?
Yeah.
Are you in the book club?
Yeah, I love Brad.
I do love Brad for what he's done. This is just one thing he's so stubborn on. For what reason? Why is he so stubborn, Eazy?
I can't tell.
Do you think he's being stubborn? Or am I just maybe going out a little bit? Going out on a limb a little bit.
I guess it depends how you want to look at it. Like, stubborn, but also I think one thing I respect about them, and I've heard him come out and say this too, is like they have their principles in place. Like, the methods may change, but the principles are the same, and the principle has always been those culture guys, those Dan Campbell guys. Like, one thing that's been consistent ever since they entered this building was that's the type of guys they're bringing in. Even free agency, off the draft class, it's a guy that has a chip on his shoulder or something to prove, and it's panned out for him. Because shit gets rough, and by all means, when you walked in the door here in Detroit, shit was rough. You need some dogs in there. And I just think we're at the point where, like, the whole team's full of fucking dogs. Let's get some talent in here now, too. Take it over the top a little bit. I have no issue with that. So I don't want to say stubborn. Just the principles are in place, and it's worked out for them. So it's like, how can you question it,
Yeah. Shift God, I don't know if he's being sarcastic. I think he is. We got AQM and Wingo. We'll be fine.
Wingo doesn't play edge. He's already an undersized defensive tackle. That's not a guy you're going to put on the edge spot. He may be there in pass rush downs, maybe, but no. And I'm a big Mekhi Wingo guy. That's a defensive tackle, not an edge rusher.
From what I've seen, I feel like if you bring talent in, it drives those other guys to work harder.
For sure.
Like, you want that talent. You kind of want to scare them. Like, you bring somebody in there that's more talented than them. It's going to make them want to work harder because at the end of the day, yes, you're playing football, but it's your job too.
Mm-hmm.
And you want, like a boss would, you want your person to do their job as best as they can as possible. So bringing that talent in there eases us a little bit, but also drives and brings that motor out of more of those guys that we want to see perform.
Yeah, and I got to say, if you're putting your faith in an El-Quadin Muhammad in the playoffs, I'm just not there. And, like, people were...
Yeah, but that was an injury situation.
I know that. That's why I don't know if Shift God's being sarcastic or not when he's dropping these names. Like, he had 3 sacks, which was great to see out of AQM, but I need guys that have done it before, that you've seen do it. We're not at this stage where we want to take chances. And I believe they're taking a chance having Marcus Davenport and Josh.
You're
Pascal
absolutely
right
taking
now.
a chance.
And it's not a chance I am willing to take.
And I've had this kind of argument on the show, and I still believe it to this point. Like, you can still be a productive defense without fulfilling that spot. But what you do with grabbing Jadeveon Clowney is you guarantee it. You upgrade that spot. Like, you're not just getting a guy that collapses the pocket for you. You're getting a guy that can get sacks, too. Now, the other issue with that is we know how this team is with the money. And we call him Bargain Bin Brad for a reason. And Jadeveon Clowney, like it or not, has been productive in some sense or fashion, both in the run game and coming after the quarterbacks too. So it's like, okay, well, how much is he going to demand on open market as well? Is that going to be out of our price range? Because right now he's more valuable than Zadarius Smith. As much as I love Zadarius Smith, again, Jadeveon Clowney can stop the run as well.
What do you think a guy like Jadeveon Clowney goes for?
So he got cut to save $7.8 million, I think it was, by the Panthers. I gotta assume. I mean, teams are just so desperate for that edge rusher. He might be able to get upwards of maybe like a assassin for a high, like a $10 million. I mean, am I tripping by saying that?
He signed a 2-year, $20 million deal last year.
That's what I'm saying.
So
I
he got
feel like
2
he
at
can
10.
grab 10 off of somebody. Like somebody that's desperate enough.
Before that, he signed a $2.5 million deal with the Ravens.
And he killed
And before that, a 1-year, $10 million deal with the Browns. Before that, 1 year, $8 million with the Browns.
So that's what
I'm thinking like a 1 year, 7.
1 year, 7. And
Put him in a contract situation.
1 year, 7.
Up to 10.
You give me 9 sacks.
Incentives.
Here's 10 mil.
Sign the check right
And
now.
you know what?
Jadeveon Clowney, you're a Detroit Lion.
$500,000 for every postseason sack you get to. How about that? $300,000.
Let's go. I mean, no, $500. I'm cool with it. Yeah.
Yeah, rack it up.
It's not our money. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't my money.
Yeah. Sheila, we know you'll do what's best for Lions fans.
Lions fans.
We know Sheila has it. She'll throw it out there.
Yeah, I don't know if it happens, but I would love for it to happen. I think it's an upgrade of what you got right now.
I would kick the tires on it for sure, and I think it would instantly help out a number. I think it would add to the number that Vegas put out for the Lions win total.
Let's talk about that. But Feist, I'm on the wrong sheet. I apologize.
Massage chair.
The massage chair warehouse. Actually doing big things. One of the only ones in the Midwest, grabbing customers from California, athletes, celebrities alike, because they're the real deal. Shout out to my guy, Dr. Eric Duncan, who does the reviews on his very own YouTube channel. Looking to upgrade your relaxation game? Check out the Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. The largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest, with top brands for massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki, located at the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, creator of the YouTube Massage Channel review channel. Book a visit at www.massagechairhouse.com or scan the QR code. Massage Chair House, your ticket to the ultimate recovery and relaxation.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Give it up for David Tully, everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Here to talk to you about Mad Packs. Mad Packs is the hottest new cannabis brand, and they are partnering with Woodward Sports. You know what that means. I'm going to be feeling good all the time. Mad Packs is going to take your game to the next level. High Low is getting you high for the low, delivering top-tier quality and unbeatable prices. Boom shakalaka is a live resin-infused tarantula. This one's the bomb. Blizzard Packs, THCI. Moon rocks that hit like a blizzard. Coming to select retailers in May 2025. Stay tuned with Woodward Sports Network for all of the latest updates.
Bonjour, welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. I am Eazy, joined by Nicholas Kohloff.
Let's roll.
Young Chris, young Jerry in the building as well. I want to say this, and I think I said this like the last second, but I want to get the way. I still think we'll be a productive defense, and I like Josh Pascal, and I love Marcus Davenport when healthy. But I can't sit here and tell you that Jadeveon Clowney would not be an automatic upgrade over both players.
100%. I'm at the point, if anybody's actually putting faith into Marcus Davenport to play more than 8 games, you are smoking a lot of Loom, a lot of Mad Packs, and a whole lot of jars cannabis.
Yeah.
And indulging in the drinks while you're smoking and inhaling the pens that they have. And smoking crack.
Yeah, like the Deep will be a good team, but what's wrong with getting better? What's wrong with
exactly?
What's wrong with going the Eagles route, who, by the way, won a fucking Super Bowl? And no, not in the Toronto Raptors over the Golden State Warriors. Injuries helping them do that. No, they beat the fucking Chiefs, who are on the way of becoming a three-peat, and the first time in NFL history. Like, and by the way, we're also there once more when the Chiefs did it. Like, it is what it is. Danny G, Davenport, Defensive Player of the Year. Book it. I think Davenport when healthy is an absolute fucking dog. I'll never shy away from that. It's just, where's the faith in him being healthy? It's like Nick said. He'd be kind of crazy to bet he'd be here for 8 games. And I hate to say that, but it's the reality of NFL. It's the reality of sports. Some guys are injury prone. Whether it's due to genetics, whether it's due to taking care of whatever the reason is, we see it in pro sports all the time. But odds have come out for the Detroit Lions win total, Nick.
Yeah.
And you're not liking the number.
Well, this team won 15 games last season. Let's start with that.
Yes.
One of the best teams in the NFL. Ultimately got 20 players injured on their defense.
Yeah.
This Detroit Lions team is an absolute wagon. And Vegas is boosting the odds for them to go over 10.5 wins to plus 120. They're begging you to take the over on this number at 10.5 wins. And I think it is straight disrespectful to this Detroit Lions team that you're boosting the odds that they get to 11-6 minimum. I think I think this is a very low number for the Detroit Lions. As in, it should at least be 11 to 11.5 wins. But they have it at 10.5. What do you think about that number, Eazy?
I don't hate it.
Really?
I think this Lions team coming in this year without Ben Johnson, without Aaron Glenn, has a little something to prove. You saw what happened in the Commanders game. We saw what happened in the Texans game. Jared Goff, probably the most consistent guy, and you gained that consistency, as we talked about last year, through the continuity around you. And some of that continuity, for the past 3 years, the longest tenured offensive coordinator just left the building in Ben Johnson. And not only wasn't the longest tenured coordinator, but and giving you that continuity of like the play calls he likes to call, the schemes he likes to be at. He also have to be fucking brilliant play caller, play designer, and all the above. That left the room. Now you're still super supremely talented, and there's still expectations for you to win this division. And I still have the very same expectation, but I don't think it's coming in the fashion of 15-win seasons. I don't think it's actually coming in the fashion of a 12-win season, because you win as consistently as they have, that schedule gets tougher. It's just as well as the division too. Chicago Bears on the road, that's going to be outside environment. You got the Green Bay Packers on the road, which fuck them. You have the Vikings on the road, don't care about them. But here's where I'm starting to get a little, let's count down from 15. And I'm not saying we're going to win these games, or lose these games, I should say, but I can't guarantee we win them. Baltimore Ravens on the road. We know what happened last time we did that. You made that bet, which you were correct on. We got our asses whooped.
Yeah, I got ridiculed for that one.
But you were right in the end. The Philadelphia Eagles on the road, which is we're not sneezing away the Philadelphia Eagles. They're a dog-ass team. Saquon Barkley is probably the best running back in the game right now. I cannot wait for this Commanders game. And I hope it's fucking week 1 or week 4 when we got some of our guys healthy to go, because this fan base is talking the most. But I can't lie and tell you that they haven't upgraded from what they already were last year.
Yep.
And although I think that win, you could say there's injuries, yes. But ultimately, Jared Goff turned that ball over 4 times. That has nothing to do with the injuries on defense. Your defense can only do so much at that point. You're just fucking coughing the ball up like that. That was ridiculous. But you got Commanders on the road that are tough. You got the Chiefs on the road that are tough. You got the Rams on the road that are tough. And the Bengals on the road that are tough. I can't sit here and tell you they're going to win 15 games again. I think 10.5 is kind of fair.
Are we the most talented team out of those teams?
Philly probably the only one I'd put in that conversation. And maybe if I look over the Commanders' depth chart, maybe they're climbing up there because they did make the trade for Tunsley. Or not Tunsley, but Jeremy Tunsil. They did grab Deebo Samuel. I don't know who they grabbed in the draft off the top of my head.
Any chance they have a Houston slippage like Stroud had?
Yeah, there is. Absolutely. A 1,000,000%. That's why their fans on Twitter talking shit to me, trying to parade anything. Like, brother, you beat a banged-up team.
Yeah.
On a bad day for like a quarterback that, sometimes it happens. We were in that game. Take away those turnovers. I will guarantee you right now, injuries and all, take away those turnovers, Lions win that game. We saw what happened when they played a real team in the Philadelphia Eagles, and they got fucking embarrassed. There's no reason for them to be parading around like they did shit. I cannot wait for that game, and I hope it comes early enough where our team's kind of healthy and Lee McNeil's back, because I want to beat the fuck out of the Commanders.
So I'm with you. It's obviously a tougher schedule.
Yes.
This is going to be a gauntlet. But what is the one thing over the past 2 seasons that this team's done well? It's play on the road. These fans travel. They're going to be going
Both
to
our
these
losses
games
last year were
at home.
Yeah.
This team literally, went undefeated on the road last season. I think you can expect these fans to show up and this team to show up on the road. Big thing. This team is going to be 100% running the ball first. Night in, night out. Every single time they take the field, they're going to have the best rushing attack, despite maybe the Eagles game. But Jahmyr Gibbs and Demont, they're going to be able to control the games night in and night out. Like I said, you still have Sewell, Ragnow, Laporta, Saint, Gibbs, Monty. Those are, as Neil says, non-negotiables. And that's why I believe this team is not going to struggle. I think they're still going to put up around 30 points a game. And with a defense that is getting healthy, I think this is not even going to be a question. I think this team hits 11 wins easily in this upcoming season. And if I'm getting plus odds at that, I'm taking it every day. But I think this team gets up to 12 wins. Like, that's where I'd set my sight right now.
Yeah.
12 wins. And that's like being modest.
Modest?
That's being modest.
That's crazy.
I think that's realistic.
I think 12 is realistic.
I think 12 could happen.
Yeah.
But saying it's modest, that's where I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, modest is too strong a word for me. I think
is it?
I think 12 is
But
the
12
most
could definitely
likely
happen.
outcome for the Lions. Like, if you had to pick, like, I don't know what the odds are on numbers, but like if you had to pick, give me a list of numbers, the number I'd probably bet on the most would be 12. I think that just sounds right because I think, again, yes, you are the better team. Yes, this team travels on the road. Yes, this team still is going to be very good, but it's a brutally tough schedule, and you don't know what injuries can happen, how those schedules can change. It could look favorable depending on a few injuries. A few injuries could change that that schedule from terrible to favorable. So it's too early to tell. But looking at just the projecting the talent, I think 12 is like a very, very fair number. So I do think 10.5 is low. If it was at 11.5, I would take the over, but I would not be super confident about it. I think that 10.5 is a little low, but I don't think it's a terrible number. I really don't.
So I'm going to ask you guys around the room, and I'm going to ask the chat as well.
Okay.
If I could promise you 11-6 and you win the NFC North, but you're ultimately third in the NFC behind the Eagles and the Rams, say.
Yeah.
Are you taking that right now?
All day.
Yeah, get us the dance.
Give me the dance. And if we're in the division, that means we got at least one home game. I just want to be healthy. Last year we went 15-2, and it meant nothing at the end of the day.
So to get to the Super Bowl, you would subscribe to 11-6. You got to go through Philly to get there, at Philly.
I mean, it's not ideal, but I would take it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm signing that.
I don't think beggars can be choosers, man. Like I don't think so. We're dying for this fucking Super Bowl. I don't give a fuck how we get it.
Let the cards play
I
out.
don't give a fuck what the path is. You gotta just listen. Yeah. I know this team is a playoff team, but at the end of the day, just get to the playoffs healthy, activated, and yes, you prefer all roads through Detroit. Yes, you prefer to not play the Eagles on the road. All of those things are true. But guess what? I don't care. All I want to do is get there and win. So if I'm there, I have a chance to win, and that's all that matters. We've seen it every year in football. We've seen first-round upsets. We've seen, improbable runs like the Giants. Like, we've seen this happen time and time again about football. It's just about peaking at the right time. Last year, Philly was a mess at the start of the season. They peaked at the right time in the playoffs, and they cruised their way to the championship. And because they were peaking at the right time. So all I care about is how the Lions look week 18. I don't care about what their record is, where they're at. Just as long as they look healthy, they're playing good, they're hitting their stride. That's all that matters, because we've seen that. We've seen that with this team. And to your point, Nick, we know this team's a road dog. So
Philly's a different animal, though.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna just be straight up.
But they're a road dog
on the road. NFC Championship game. I'm not taking the 11-6 winning the division because I'm not scared of this division at all. I would sign up for I would sign up for the mystery. I would sign up for the non-11-6 winning the division, because I think ultimately this team could win 12, 13 games. See if Philly slips up a little bit. Even though last year we lost at home to the Commanders, I still believe ultimately when Dan Campbell said all roads lead through Detroit, that's what this team is built on. That's what this team will obviously try to do, go for that 1 seed. And I believe an NFC Championship game in Ford Field will be the loudest goddamn venue of all time, and I want to see it happen. I'm not subscribing to 11-6. I want that 1 seed, and I would take the risk of ultimately not going 11-6 for it.
I don't know, man. I'm not saying I don't want that. I'm just saying, honestly, I could kind of care less, though. Like, I just want to see how the team looks week 18. I don't, I prefer to be the 1 seed. I prefer all of those things. But if we're 11-6 and this team looks like they're on fire, they won their last 3, they're stomping people out, I'm good. I'm good with that. Because last time you had a bye week, what happened? The Commanders upset you.
Great point.
That's where I'm at.
Elite point by Chris.
If you can get me to 11-6 and we're there healthy, that's at this point that's all I can ask for.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
after last season,
obviously want to be healthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
This team's a whole different team last year if they're healthy. Yeah.
Like I mean, again, I don't necessarily know that we would. I honestly know that we would have won the Commander games with the healthy defense for sure, just because the turnovers do kill you. But you definitely have better odds. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson getting after Jaden Daniels. I mean, again, we saw them against a fucking healthy team. They got destroyed. They got mollywopped. But we got more to talk about. Let us know in the Woodward Sports Chat what you guys prefer. But Feist.
Tell us about that loom.
You already know Loom Cannabis Co., but did you know they've got all the brands that you love now for less with unbeatable prices, a wider selection, and the best loyalty program? Loom is the premier destination for new and experienced shoppers alike. Experience Michigan's #1 recreational dispensary at one of their 38 locations. Use code WSN30 for 30% off your entire order, online or in store. Go to www.loom.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Buddy's Pizza created the category for the original Detroit-style pizza and has been serving it since 1946. With 22 locations in Michigan, there's always a Buddy's Pizza near you. Buddy's is a cornerstone of the city of Detroit, being here for 79 years and is a dedicated community partner with notable partnerships with local organizations like Michigan Humane, Salvation Army, the Detroit Zoo, and more. Save 10% off your entire order using promo code 10MEAL. That's the 10 MEAL. Go find a location near you at buddies.com today.
All right, what we missed in this Tigers game? Something just happened. Cribbit bases, bone saw. Burn, what do we miss, man?
Jesus freaking Christ.
Whoa, dude. Chill with the way you play my Savior's name, dude. I'll check it out.
Yeah, new Pope, eh? New Pope.
New Pope. Who did?
I'm not Catholic, so I don't care. It's crazy to me, though. Like,
I am Catholic, and I don't know much about it. It's 1-1 in the Tigers game. Wow.
No, it's 4-1. Bases just got cleared.
Good, guys? Jesus Christ. I need this.
Their manager's on the way out right now.
I could never be on that hard. You got it up?
Gordon's getting rocked.
Why is this not on?
It's the first game of the doubleheader was on Fox. The other one's not, and I don't think we have the Bally's package in here.
Okay, who was it?
Who cleared it? Chat. Burn will tell us. Shout the Burn.
I'm going back. Here we go. All right. Jeez Louise. All right. I'm in shambles. Chris, hit us with this Pistons talk, please.
All right. So, gentlemen, I got three I prepped. Tell me which one sounds the most interesting to you. So I did research on Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, looking at year 3 to 4 jumps and kind of what you can expect from them. I did salary cap stuff, just breaking down the numbers, and what I believe in this CBA is the new key to success. So which way do you want to take it?
So because I put that clip out yesterday talking about the Jaden Ivey stuff. I know how fans are in this town. We're just blind to reality sometimes, and they got our jersey on. They're the best player in the league, and I just don't know that. I just said what I said. So give me the numbers. Right. Am I wrong in saying that we could get over the cap if we sign up all these guys to realistic contracts?
So yeah. So here's where we're at. So let me pull up that tab here. All right. So the 26-27 season, which is when their extensions would take place. The Pistons, as of right now, have the 5th lowest total cap allocations. So they are a bottom 5 cap team. They are at what's their number? 202 in committed salary. And so they are over the cap, but under the first apron. The first apron is $215 million.
Wait, right now they're over the cap?
Right, they're projected to be over the cap, yes. And so then they are, and the second apron is $228 million. So essentially they are $26 million away from the second apron.
The second apron?
From the second apron in that year, yes.
So we're already over the first apron?
No, we're not. We're under. It's a small it's like a $10 million increase between first and second apron. It's a really small.
It's like
margin.
174 to like 170 to 178 or something like that.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those where it's like anywhere from like 8 to 12.
Okay.
Now these numbers can change because the caps are reflective of contract.
That's right now without re-signing anybody.
Yes. So that's right now. So I'll pull up their page right now and see what they have in projections here. In cap hit. So you have Cade's cap hit, you're keeping that. So that's including their cap hit. So in reality, they're projected to have about, let's see here. So they're projected at 202. And so you're looking at signing Tobias, who is a cap hit at $39 million. You're getting that out of here. Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren are at a combined $50 million in cap space. So they're eating up. So between Tobias and the two guys that you're going to re-sign, that's $90 million. So while you're 202, you're close to that second apron, you're really not, because I think you're definitely getting Ivey and Duren for under $90 million. And you're also getting probably Malik Beasley at $14 to $15 million this offseason, which would probably be on the books for next season. So in reality, you could definitely afford to sign them. You can. Projecting that Duren is anywhere like we talked about.
So
$26 million.
I thought you said 30 for Duren.
Okay, let's do 30. So let's do the math. So 30 for Duren. How much do you think Ivey's getting, Easy?
With the injuries, and to be honest, the production hasn't been like crazy.
Yeah.
It really has. 17 per game is not like out of this world. None of those numbers sniffing all-star.
So,
I'd probably say 20s.
Yeah, so like
27.
I mean, Malik Monkish.
I mean, am I wrong?
Like, I think he gets Malik Monk money, like $22 million.
Jerry, you laugh. You think am I wrong?
Spencer Torkelson RBI double. Tags up for 5-1. After you, sorry, just want to update the people.
Jerry,
I think he gets 28 to 30.
So that means Ivey has a hell of a next season.
That's a little high. But, I mean, I'm just laughing because there's teams.
What you laughing about?
I'm just laughing because you said 17 is not that.
17 per game is average. I mean,
for us, that's amazing, though.
Huh?
For us, that's fantastic. That's our second leading scorer. And he has been productive. I'm not gonna get into it, but I would say
you said for us, but I'm talking about just around the league. If you're like trying to get a contract out here,
if you're at
that's
Duren,
you're not getting a max contract
30,
with 17 points per game.
I'm putting him at like 23, 24.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. The numbers ain't giving you.
He's not up there to get 30, 35 yet.
That's what I'm saying.
But I want him back, so between 20 and 25.
I mean, and again, look, I mean, Tobias is $40 million cap hit. So, like, in reality, these numbers are high, but it's because you probably would either re-sign Tobias for, like, at that point, you know, you're talking low money, or let him walk, and that's $40 million plus the $50 million in just cap hold that Ivey and Duren have. So that's $90 million right there. Like, the Pistons are in good enough shape to re-sign them. But the question is then, assuming let's make up numbers. So Duren 30, what do we give it an Ivey? 22, 25? What do
25 minimum.
25. 25? Okay.
25.
So we got 55. So that would take us down to, plus I'll add Malik's like 15 million, probably what we're going to sign him. And you don't know what you're going to sign Schroeder yet. So let's say Schroeder or Hardaway or player X that could be like a wing, 15, 16 million, right? So you're adding That's 30. That's 30 million plus. Let me do the quick math of what. 55.
Quick
So
math.
you're at 85 of that. So you're basically right at what this cap is, and then you're 20 million away from the second apron. So where it gets tricky is the next season with the star.
So we're already in that luxury tax in with that. What's $1?
That's granted, though. It goes into play with.
So we'd be at that point. Sorry, we'd be over the. Just to clarify Easy's point, we'd be over the cap, but we wouldn't be over the first or second apron.
So this is hypothetically if we sign everyone back.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's where it gets tricky. It doesn't get tricky that year. It gets tricky the following year when you include a SAR. Yeah. Because what do you think a SAR is going to get? And now we're a couple years away.
And in my opinion, that's a key piece. Like, that's a piece
he's going to have to get paid. He's got to stay.
And that's another guy you're talking about, the 25, and maybe the salary cap going up by then too, even more.
Yeah, and you're talking right now. Again, these could change because it's based off TV revenue and yada yada. But you're talking, you would have roughly $22 to $25 million before you hit the second apron. So you'd be under the first apron, but you'd be only 25-ish away from the second apron. So if you're telling me that a SAR gets less than 25 million, then you can afford to keep all of those guys. Or if Ivy or Durant take less. But I would assume that trio is not going for what would total 75 million. It's probably what you need it to total, like 75 million-ish. I don't know. That's tough. You can make it work if they're all making 90 million, but then you have to cut another rotation player, whether it be a Malik Beasley, whether it be like the four that you bring in this summer, or or Dennis Schroeder if you bring him back, whatever. Probably that type of salary. So you can make it work, but you would have to be entirely committed to those guys, plus Malik Beasley, plus Stu.
Yeah.
And that would kind of be a roster, and then you'd be filling out minimums. But if they're that good, then maybe that's what you need.
I feel like you get a short on a 1-year deal, especially if you're not re-signing Ivy and Durant now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was
but I'm also comfortable with not re-signing him because I feel like Ivy could fulfill that role.
Yeah. Well, that's why
Ideally.
That's why I said take 15 million and let's go get player X. Like let's go get either Dorian Finney-Smith or Schroeder or whatever. And that could be a 1-2 year deal. But so you could free up the money there. But it gets very tough because if all of them get 30, there's just no way.
DNC ENT the Woodward Sports Chat says, Trajan goes to Tom and he says, I want to keep everyone together, but our tax bill is going to be $100 million. He's paying that. And I would agree if the team's seeing success. I think you pay that if you are in the Eastern Conference Finals, or man, it would be crazy.
Which they have 2 years to prove that, though.
They have 2 years. We've seen success, but I don't think we've seen enough success to get to the point where we're paying all these guys that much money. Yeah,
that's wrong.
Not at all.
I'm not taking away what we did. There was success in the season, but
to pay that much in the luxury tax.
To pay that much, I don't think we were that successful.
You do that when you have, when you're in the championship.
If you go,
how much are the Knicks paying? Yeah. How much are the Knicks paying? They got Brunson, Cat, Bridges, OG.
Great question.
How much? Please tell me how much the Knicks are paying.
I got theirs right now.
Because that is absolutely insane that they can afford these 4 vets like this, stars that they traded for. I need to know that.
So they are the 8th highest payroll in the league this year.
8th?
8th. So above them is Minnesota, Phoenix, Washington, the Lakers. Oh, wait, hold on. Am I looking at it backwards? Hold on. Yeah, I'm looking at it backwards. So, yeah. That's right. They are the 8th highest. Above them is Denver, Milwaukee, Boston, Golden State, the Lakers, the Wizards, the Suns, and the Wolves.
How much are they above the cap?
Let's see here. Let me see. What's their number? Their number is 188, and this year's first apron is 178. So they are just below, like a fill in the blank hair below the second apron.
That's crazy to me. But also crazy in this one, fellas. I know we're gonna get out of here shortly. Got to shout out first hit ever in the major leagues, Brewer Hickman for the Detroit Tigers, getting a part of the fun tonight. He got added to the roster along with Kiter Montero for this doubleheader today. Love to see it. Guy gets his first hit. He's bounced around got a couple opportunities with the Royals and Brewers. Never got a hit in the major leagues. So Brewer Hickman, shout out to you getting his first hit.
I think what's important to discuss too, Chris, and I don't know if you have the list in front of you, but the penalties in that second apron.
Yeah, I got them right here. What do you want to know?
I just know you can't sign and trade. I know that in the second apron. At the
here, I got they're bullet pointed. So
and you can't like you're not even allowed to have veteran minimums.
Yeah. So the first apron. So if you're over the first apron, you can use you can't use more than the tax level mid-level exception. You cannot you can still acquire players via sign and trade. Signing a buyout player, you can't sign them for more than if they were making more than the mid-level. So say somebody was like making a shit ton of money in the last year of their deal and they agree to buy out one of those old vets. You couldn't sign one of those if you're over the first apron. You can't use more than 100% of your salary in a trade, meaning your salaries have to match or the other team has to take more, assuming they're not a first or second apron team. And you can't use trade exceptions. The last thing for the second apron, so if you're at the second apron, all you could do is re-sign your own free agents, sign draft picks, sign players to minimum contracts, and make trades where only one player's salary is sent out in equal or less than the salary that comes back. So you can't do like multiplayer trades.
That's ridiculous. I get it. You got to even out the league a little bit there because it was getting kind of crazy.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
Yeah.
On top of paying the $4 per every dollar spent.
Yeah.
In tax. That's. Yeah, I mean, so we will be just under the second apron is what you're saying, if we re-sign everybody.
Yeah, assuming obviously there's a lot of variables, but yeah, if you're committing to 90 million-ish between those three guys, Asar, Duran, and Ivy, you're looking at being most likely a second apron team.
I could live with that. I don't think they do it, but
I think
if they prove worthy, I think they'll do it.
But then the tricky question is the next season would be Holland, which there's no chance you could bring him back. And Stu's a free agent too.
Ron Holland's a rookie right now, though. Like
I know
we shouldn't be thinking
but
that
I'm just
far
saying,
ahead.
But if you think of the world of him,
I'm talking about Asar.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Holland. So like, if Holland ends up being a good player, he's probably walking after that season, no matter what. If you're committing to those guys,
so you're saying we keep everybody: Asar, Ivy, Duran, and be under the second apron,
and we probably would be a second apron team. We could maybe be close to under.
Okay.
It just would depend. How much does Beasley sign for? What other players do we have on our roster? But you'd be locked into being a first apron team, and more than likely a very close to, if not second apron team.
It's the new NBA, and I'm glad we're finally good enough in a situation to be discussing the aprons to understand them, because like it hasn't been that way in a very long time.
Amen.
And tomorrow I'll give my breakdown on how you can win in this new CBA, because there's a blueprint out there, I think.
Make sure you guys check it out. The Detroit Tigers obliterating the Rockies right now after already winning the first game 10-2. Make sure you guys stay tuned to our socials for the post game of those. Tigers currently 6-1 right now. This is the best team in the American League. Looking forward to this Rangers series as we get Wyatt Langford, who we passed on in the draft, coming into town. I'm going to look to be on the field to get some words from Langford if he has any advice for young prospect Max Clark. That's the goal for the weekend for your boy.
Nice.
We'll see if we can get it. But I was very high on Wyatt Langford coming out of the draft.
That's your guy. I remember.
It was. So we'll see.
Well, smash that like button.
Smash that like.
Follow
Let's get
me
to
at
100 likes, man.
Speakeasy_sports. Let me know what you guys want to talk about tomorrow's show.
At Nick Kohloff. And shout out Spenny in his favorite college town of all time.
Ann Arbor.
Probably having a blast.
Having a blast in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
I hear.
Favorite college town of all time.
He told me some interesting stuff. I don't know if he wants to say when he comes back. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I love you guys. We're out.
All right.
Peace.
Take it easy.